All right, we got some cursed seeds to get through here, so we'll be doing one today. First and foremost, though, I got to give a gigantic shout out here. It's an order. Calfruin gave a gigantic tip. I had to do a double take when I saw that amount. So, yeah, that is more than I ever would have. I mean, even $1 is more than I ever would have expected to make doing YouTube, but $200, I certainly never would have expected to receive. So a huge thanks, Calfruin. That is so generous. Probably one of the kindest things I've ever experienced. So I don't really have words to match your generosity there, but that is so much appreciated. Huge thanks. And also Alvin Sang with the $78 Hong Kong donation. Big thanks to Alvin Sang as well. Really appreciate all your support, guys. That's makes me warm and fuzzy inside, shall we say. But and we got a curse seed to do today. This one comes via Lua Elite. This says horrendous Eka Pyreborn start. With nothing worth building around. And certainly Eka plus Pyreborn can be prone to some really bad starts, especially when you have a relatively useless early game Pyre with horrible stats and arguably no advantage early with Life Mother's Pyre. You know, you need like upgraded cards to really take advantage of the dupe. I suppose you can still pay money to dupe some basic card or something, but that's like a desperate move. I will say though, yeah, at least it's not bloated whelp. So we'll say the glass is 10% full here, but my guess is, there's these units like Miser and Lunar Priestess, even Selene Acolyte to some degree, just make for an awful ring one with Eka. But we'll see how it goes. It looks like they're at least getting past the first ring here, and then dying maybe at the third ring or so. Alright, we got Entropy. Oh yeah, more mass. More mass pretty much just makes the seed cursed anyway. That's how ridiculous this boss is. And then, but yeah, especially if you got a weak early game champ like Eka. And then Strixen Hollow Slay. Yeah, that's nothing too notable with Strixen Hollow. Really, the main problem here is going to be Fleshweaver. I can pretty much see that. At least we got some okay starters here, though. Magma Cultist is not amazing to start with, but is at least better than like a Miser or a Lunar Priestess. Lava Armor is pretty good to start with. That's 10 health. Pretty relevant health increase early on, especially when you're dealing with squishy champ, squishy banner unit. And then the effect is really powerful. So I'm pretty glad to see lava armor. Gravity is good to have in the deck, but not necessarily strong in the first ring. But does allow us to do some overstack shenanigans. So it's not as bad as it could be, but the fact that it's more mass is probably the main thing here. And the fact that we did not get offered Incant. That also makes this significantly worse. Because, yeah, both of these can be pretty weak paths if you don't hit the right combo pieces, whereas Incant Eka always will be solid if you get out of the first ring. Plus, it just would have comboed nice with already having an Incant banner unit. But I think almost certainly we just take Silver Empress here. I think between the two, ever since they buffed Silver Empress's starting stats, I don't see much reason to ever take Lunar Steward, honestly. Unless I can't think of any starting deck that would actually make me ever want to pick Lunar Steward. I think it's just a never pick these days. It used to be the go-to if you had a cursed start, but I think Empress is the go-to if you have a cursed start now, just because it starts with 2020, which is actually okay stats. And then, you know, you can set it up so that you're facing the boss on full moon. Still not great, though. You would definitely prefer in camp. Seems like I'm always seeing Vola's tuning fork when we have zero cost starter already. I mean, it still affects fire starter, which is something. Otherwise, prismatic dragon scale is definitely more valuable, but I don't know. I'm pretty not a big fan of dragon scale when you have a weak start. I mean, you're almost certainly gonna leak, whether it be a Vengeful Shard or just a tank or a boss. Like, it's very unlikely that we kill, like, the early boss. We probably leak a few hits, and probably a tank, and trials become harder to take. It's just like, it's just very unlikely to actually do anything for me. And if we've kind of already identified that the main thing to focus on this run is to get ready for more mass, then tuning fork is probably the call here, even though I don't love it. I could also argue just skipping, just get the 25 gold. But I mean, tuning fork has some benefit. I mean, making these 0 is good, especially when I got conduit, so it'll help with killing bosses too, just being able to spam those on bosses. More mass it'll help with. Yeah, we'll just take the tuning fork. I just think it's almost impossible that I don't leak in the early rings, and even it's pretty much impossible that I don't leak the first ring, or that it's and maybe the second ring if I get good enough offerings I can leak. I cannot leak, but in the context of preparing for more mass, it doesn't really help me, right? Like, then I cash in my 3 eggs, I get a minor amount of gold, and I get one choice at a minor artifact, which is probably worse than tuning fork most of the time, so I think I'm okay with this choice. And even here, it's like, yeah, have we taken the dragon scale? Do you really think we can get through with -1 ember without taking pyre damage to a vengeful shard or whatever? And then these fire starters would actually cost ember. Like, I highly doubt that we could do this. I mean, we could always just, like, not take the trial, but as I said, like, 75 gold is more valuable than 3 eggs. So I think I'm feeling good about this. This boss especially, like, the other boss maybe we can kill, but this boss I highly doubt. So we want to set up mid when you're a Lunar Echo, unless you have other ways to manipulate the moon phase. Setting up mid makes it so you'll face the boss on new moon. We want to put Cultist with Ekka. I guess we'll frontline Ekka, even though she has more damage, she has more health. So, because we're going to put a Train Steward behind that. And I actually think we don't, since it is Sap Boss, I don't think we should put any units down below if it looks like they're going to last until the boss. Okay. Gravity is Ascend here, so we should just move this guy up and blast him while we have the conduit. So we'll move you up, and we'll just start blasting. Look at that, we don't even take any damage. That's a pretty good start. Okay, we'll take that out. Put this here, and just don't take damage. This seems like a good plan. Alright, we definitely want that in play. Looks like we'll kill this guy just like we killed that other guy. I guess I just put this up here, because we don't want to put it down there. This guy would lose all of his sap, which is not something we want to have happen. Put this here, I suppose. We don't have conduit here, so let's do this. Looks like we're killing him, so let's do that, I guess. We have our ability now. Looks like we're actually just killing him. That's nice. Well, I don't know. Maybe we were pretty fortunate with everything that happened there. So, like, It's hard to say, but like it is certainly possible we actually could have gotten through that fight, maybe without the tuning fork and the scale. I still think we would have had to not take the trial though. We also have, oh yeah, send. All right, well that's fine. It's not the end of the world that we don't take the dragon scale. These are not great. Would have, I mean, that most ideal card here would have just been the Moon Phase unit. But I suppose the Starstruck's okay. I don't know. I've been back and forth on this card. It's like I have had runs where it's like when you don't have Moon Phase control, where it just basically the entire run doesn't actually daze anything. You know, it's a 50-50 on when you draw it. I mean, I guess with the Lunar Echo, I can fudge that a little bit, but then I'm like forcing myself to only play one spell the previous turn, weird shit like that. So it's like, it just makes for unideal turns. Gravity, we obviously don't need a third one. Bloody Moon for Calcified Ember is questionable as well, but it could be okay. What's the okay, so we have a Merchant Magic we can hit there. I don't think we can justify a Ring 2 Magic with the units we have. I mean, granted, the Pyreborn banner is most of the time going to be pretty good, but and even in the vanilla form, but it could just be like Magma Incanter plus Miser or something. And then that obviously is not going to get us through Ring 2. Just trying to think, like, I could take the Bloody Moon and it could be an okay Desperation dupe target if I get it down in cost, right? Then but I don't know, I'm good on Ember anyway, so like, I don't know if it's that good. The Starstruck, on the other hand, not a great dupe target, but if I can daze more mass, it's obviously very good, but if it's just not on full moon, the problem with these, like, these full moon cards is, like, it's, like, my turns are already good on the full moon turns, but so it's like, sure, Starstruck's good when I'm already good, but when I'm bad on my new moon turns, it's bad. So it's like, you could argue it's win more in that case, but that's obviously not a great comparison because the minute I find like a Lunar Priestess or something like that, then it becomes a very good card because then I'm always in full moon. So it's a speculative pick, which is honestly just, unfortunately, the way that Luna works. Almost every early pick is speculative to some degree, whether it be a unit or a spell. And sometimes you just don't hit, sometimes you do hit. But if we can start building a array of speculation, shall we say, with Luna, where we have different elements that can hit, then we're bound to hit something. But right now, this is just sort of doubling up on something that it doesn't add me a new array, I guess, of things that are good, because right now we're already looking to stay in full moon, so this thing just wants me to stay in full moon, which we are already benefiting from. I think we still take it though. It's just going to be the most valuable upside of any of those. This is not great. I really don't think I'd benefit from a third Lava Armor. Snotty Whelp for Calcified Ember is very unenticing. It's a card that does pretty good work in the first couple rings, but I don't even know if it's that good into Fleshweaver. It's like the Fleshweaver, the Fleshweaver, it's like bad enough that More Mass is a ridiculously statted boss, but his waves are also just a nightmare. Like, you get double tank right from the get-go, along with Scourge Shufflers. So it's like, Snotty Whelp can't even hit the boss in most cases. I guess until the very end, which maybe we need to do, but I don't know. I kind of am just feeling a skip here. They're just so middling, and I don't know, even in the context of trying to prepare for Fleshweaver, I'm like, Lava Flow would be the card I would take here, but I don't even know if I want it, because like, I'm already doing Lava Flow with Megama Cultist, essentially, and it's only really good if I play it off floor, and it's just very minorly impactful, and it's not even that much. I would argue it's not better than a Firestarter, because when I'm on full moon, I'm blasting people with Firestarter, but Lava Flow is just like not a card I want to see. Plus, it's a card that, in the context of Lunar Echo, I can't even comfortably play it if I'm trying to get back damage cards like a following turn, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just a curse in my deck in that case, so I think this is a skip. I'd be open to the Whelp if there was no Calcified Ember attached, but yeah, that's unfortunate. But that's just Pyreborn commons. I think they're usually worth skipping unless it's an egg card, or like, I don't know, something more impactful, I guess. I mean, Lava Arm is usually worth taking, I just already have two. So yeah, I think we definitely got to go to the right. I mean, another thing is, yeah, so there's no Merchant of Steel on Ring 3, so we really do have to hit this. I have to get, ideally a tank. I mean, I suppose either banner has the same chance at tank, but if I don't get a tank, I need to get some health at the very least to be able to get, even to get through Ring 2, but especially to get through Fleshweaver. So it's almost certainly just going to be Steel, and then I guess we're open to go either side at Ring 3, but it's likely going to be Magic. Yeah, we have to go Steel here. Dualism and stats and Endless. I don't think Endless works on anything Luna, but Dualism, even Dualism doesn't really. I mean, Dualism works in the Cultist. It's not a super great upgrade, I would say, but it's probably worth taking because I just don't think we got the money to reroll here, especially when we might have to do some desperation dupes. I don't even have a good dupe right now, though. I guess a Dualism Magma Cultist could be the dupe, but I don't know. Alright, let's check this. Yeah. I am seeing the cursedness of this run already. It's like, obviously this is not good into more mass. We have no beef. Where's the beef? It ain't here. I mean, these units just do absolutely nothing for me right now. The Sealy has more upside. I typically like Sealy, but not in a situation like this. You know, this is pretty much the absolute worst situation to find a Sealy in. It's like, you know, there's so many things that work with it, but right now we have none of them. It's like, you know, if I had Incant Ekka, it'd be great. It's like getting an extra rank of Incant Ekka. If I had the other starter card, you know, the Moonphase card, it's like doubling the conduit on those. If I had any other source of conduit, I mean, I guess it technically works with every other turn I get one conduit, but forgive me if I'm not impressed by that. I mean, the Astrologer technically does more for me right now. I really don't want to take Astrologer here. It's not great. You know, if you think about it, it's like, without any extra moon cycle, it's just, it takes like 3 turns to get it to an attack higher than a Spear Steward, a trained Spear Steward. So it's also just, forgive me if I'm not impressed. Both these cards want the other starter card for sure. That being said, maybe I need the Astrologer. I kind of want to take the Sealy just because both of them, they really round down to being not necessarily better than a trained Steward right now. But at least the Sealy has Conduit 5, which honestly helps a little bit on the turns where I don't have Full Moon. it is adding a pretty good amount of damage. I think it adds more damage than Astrologer does, and it's 1 pip, which gives me a little bit more floor flexibility, and the upside, like we said, is better. And if we think of in the Luna context of building an array of speculative things, Astrologer only benefits from Moon Cycle spam, which is like one card, I would say, which is the X cost card, which is already good with this anyway. But Sealy works with any other source of conduit it's going to be good with, and especially the fact that we could in the future get Incant Ekka. I think the Sealy is just the call here, and I do actually think it's more immediately impactful just because it does give us that extra 5 conduit, if anything. Not great though, certainly not great. So we really have nothing to do here. Unfortunately, dualism doesn't work on Sealy. It only gives that initial 5 conduit. I don't know why it doesn't. I really feel like it should. It shouldn't say... I mean, the easy fix here is just to remove the stack of phrasing, and then that... If it just says apply 1 conduit, and not even +1, but I get why it is the way it is. But yeah, it's just weird that it doesn't affect with dualism. But we can do it with cultists. Like I said, it's not actually that good of an upgrade, unless we're truly spamming a lot, but I guess we kind of got the setup to spam a lot, so either way we need to make some sort of power move here, and that is it. We could put the health on either unit, but I think it makes more sense to put it on the cultist for now, because right now it's like a potential dupe target, and we may have to like desperation dupe this card. We might as well add the health to it then, so it can actually tank. We could tank with 1, and then put the other one in the back. Worst comes to worst, or just stack them up in the front. And Endless, I'm not really thinking we benefit Endless here. I think attack here is fine though. There's no other upgrade that Ethereal Sealy really uses other than health, so we want health, but I think adding the attack right now just allows us to put it on the floor, and it's better than a Spear Steward, and it's intrinsic, which is, those are things I want to do. It will help with Relentless actually early on quite a lot to move this attack to 19, so I think that's fine. I don't think we dupe anything yet though. I think we need to... I'd rather dupe like spells, and it's pretty likely, especially since we kind of bricked this Luna Coven banner, that we almost certainly want to find another Luna Coven banner here, and Merchant Magic's just going to be better with this Pyre, trying to get some sort of spell upgraded that we can dupe, even if it's just I don't know, it's hard to say. We just have to see what's offered here. I will say though, if we brick our offerings here, we really don't have a spell that's worth duping, and that'll be a tough decision if we don't get a good spell offered. If we don't get a good spell offered, I don't even know that we can go left, but we'll see. All right, well, let's go ahead and do it. I think we save the money though. I don't think we make a removal or anything. Honestly, with Life Mother's Pyre, I don't think putting your money into removals is actually worth it, because the money's just better served on dupes. Mark of Invasion, I guess, is fine here. It's probably going to result in Pyre damage, which again brings me back to the Prismatic Shard, because you got to set up mid, really. Both the fact that there's these and that, yeah. Well, we'll take the trial for sure. Might be looking at some Pyre damage here, though. So we'll frontline the Cultist, 30 health, eventually replenish it. We can always heal as well. We got that. We'll put this up here just to kill one of them. This is okay. We can go... We can kill all of these. I think we should. It's a little risky, but I'd rather not take the damage if I can help it. And then there's just 2 left here, so they naturally die there. This is okay. And I can bring back a spell next turn if I really need it. We can eventually heal our frontliner, and that should get us through this boss. Decent. Definitely want that collector. You know, I think we should actually use our ability here because I do want to kill that. Yeah, this is fine. So, do that. I don't care about redraw. I think we're pretty much mostly good here. That's dead, that's dead. I think we can use this turn to heal ourselves. It's a good turn to do it. Actually, I think we just kill this. Well, I don't know. I have Conduit here. We should do this. Okay. I think we can heal ourselves again, even though it's only worth 4. You can kind of see though. It's like I get pretty good value here on my non-turns with Sealy. Maybe we just do this though. I think we can do that. It's probably more valuable. He's actually already dying without me doing anything. That's really nice, but you know how we do things. We gotta give him the business here. Pretty good. He got to 44 Pirate Gel. That's actually making me feel pretty good about a potential dupe on the Magma Encanter. Okay, definitely not taking Mooncaller, especially for Calcified Ember. It also just doesn't work with anything I have right now. Bloody Moon, though, is probably worth taking. Some nice damage. It's free most of the time. It's good into Entropy. It does the same damage as Silver Strike, but I can target it. Silver Strike does obviously do more damage when there's full moon, but I think, as we mentioned, my full moon turns are very good anyway. But, you know, sometimes win more is, as a concept, is not necessarily win more in practice. Sometimes win more is what's needed. You know, sometimes you just need to pour on the gas when things are going good. So there is that argument. So basically what I mean is, like, well, sometimes I just need to blast a boss when I'm in full moon, and Silver Strike is obviously going to be good at that. Or blast a floor of stuff. So I could see that angle, but it's just not going to be that good on the turns that already suck for me, right? Whereas Bloody Moon's always going to be fine when I draw it. Bloody Moon I'm never going to be sad to see. It's a potential dupe target, even though probably not, because right now none of these are going to beat out a Magma Cultist for my dupe target right now. Just duping that once. It's awkward because it's 2 Ember, but we can work around that. The Sealy is not like that important for me to get out, so my deployment can simply just be them. I mean, more mass still makes things tricky. I probably wouldn't actually deploy Magma Cultist, or 2 of them, now that I think about it, because I do need to, like, bait more mass out top, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just talking about dupes, I guess. Bloody Moon is always worth adding over a skip, so I think we just default to it here. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm usually not chomping at the bit to get a Pyreball, but in this scenario, I think it's pretty good. This actually gives us a potential contender with the Magma Cultist for a dupe target. Especially since we're pretty committed, I think, to hitting this Merchant of Magic here. Like, I can pretty comfortably get it to a 1 cost and potentially a 0 cost. But even at a 1 cost, this is pretty good. I can target it anywhere. It clears the floor. It doesn't rely on me being in a particular moon state to do its thing. Also, it's really good for me to, like, spam more mass with some damage and then just clear the entire floor with a Pyreball. Yeah, this is Pyreball for sure. And we're definitely going left. I mean, if I go to the right, I'm pretty reliant on high rolling, whereas if I go to the left, simply getting Pyreball down in cost is super valuable, because I actually think we're going to dupe that instead of the Cultist. I could also dupe both. I got the money to do that, but we also just, we want to find a tank, and there are two pretty good tanks available for the uncommon Luna Covens, which would be Shade Guard and the Silent Spell Weakness dude. I would actually prefer that over Shade Guard here, just because we don't hit New Moon that much, and I mean, honestly, even if I get Moon Phase control, I'd want to stay in Full Moon, not New Moon. We can kind of swing that, though, depending on what the situation is. If we have like a Lunar Priestess, I can actually just play out my turn in Full Moon and then end it in New Moon, and that works. Also, if I just get a Lunar Priestess, that would be amazing. I would actually prefer that to a tank right now, if I'm being honest. So, I don't know, there's 3 units that are pretty good, it seems. And even a Slain Acolyte eventually becomes okay, potentially. We can just speculatively take it. Yeah, we're going left. Ooh, nice. Okay, so like I said, a lot of the times we can just get this thing pretty easily to 0, and this is the easiest way to do it. So, Pyreball is definitely going to 0 here. I mean, I guess I could visit the cavern first. Maybe there's a consumer move that is better than that, but I think consumer move is or double stack are the Merchant of Magic upgrades that I hesitate to lock in before hitting an Alcove Ring 3, because there are a lot of spells that benefit from those, but I think the fact that we have a really good upgrade here at the Pyreball going to 0, and the fact that ×5 event exists, I think we lock in that upgrade prior. And any of those cards that are good for consumer move are going to be good anyway, vanilla, so it's not like a huge fail if I find it that way. Or if I do it in that order and that happens, I guess it's not a huge fail, because we already kind of know we want to dupe that spell anyway. Alright, we do get a tank, but like I said, it's not necessarily the best one for us. It also has 3 Pip and 2 Ember. Both those are going against it, because we have a lot of deployment Ember problems right now, but it's not too bad. I'm pretty happy to see it, I suppose. I just would have rather seen the other 2 units we talked about, but this works. Probably what happens is we're going to deploy Magma Cultist and Ekka mid for this fight and go Shade Guard top. He at least survive at 40 health. He'll survive the 29 or 30. Is he 29 or 31 attack? I think Fleshweaver Mormass has. Either way, he's surviving that hit, and he'll replenish his health decently enough. And worst comes to worst, I could gravity him in a lot of cases back onto the my main floor. Granted, he'll be in the back, which kind of sucks. But I mean, I guess the other option is well, I can't really ascend up because it's in full moon. I was going to say I could put Shade Guard at the top and move my other units up, but not if I'm having 20 conduit on that. But yeah, I mean, Shade Guard coming behind the stuff is fine, because he'll be injured big time from that first hit. So unless I like high roll a Starstruck in my opener, I guess I could re-roll for Incamp, but I don't think I'm going to do that when I already have a pretty strong play with the Pyreball going to 0 and then duping it. Yeah, so we'll take Shade Guard. I mean, obviously, we're not going to take the Astrologer. Yeah, and I think we just do this prior, in case it's ×5. Even if it's not ×5, it could be a spell overstack event as well, right? It could be something like the event that I get like plus spell damage per resolve and permafrost, right? And that's pretty good too. Really good, actually. And what else was it? It's Holy Stone and 10 power, just for the knowledge of it. Oh, this is really good. Yeah. Okay, this is, oh my god, that's a giantly good cavern for us. So I mean, it kind of sucks that we're using up a slot on the Shade Guard. It's not the end of the world, though, because, you know, this is such a good upgrade. So it's obviously just Courage here. So now we have no problem with... Here, 1 second. I'm going to be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Distracted by other things. So, yeah, where were we? Alright, so... yeah, we talked about how awkward it is to use gravity on Shade Guard, but that awkwardness just got so much less awkward now that we can take Courage. We don't have any really unit we would want to put Wrath on. I would say most of the time when I see this event, I'm taking Courage. I think it's just generally the most useful thing. The only time I take Wrath is if I do specifically have a backliner that benefits from it, but I just find that to be less common in Monster Train 2 than it would be in Monster Train 1. I suppose if I had, you know, Monster Train 1 clan combo, Wrath becomes more likely, right? You know, Animus of Will or whatever, but stuff like that. But in Monster Train 2, it's like your damage usually comes from spells a lot of the time. Like in our case, it is coming from spells or debuffs, stuff like that. Or from, you know, revenge triggers, stuff like that. But also just the tanks are better. So like, you're just often benefiting from Courage. And Benevolence, I don't really think is very good. I mean, it's good in a vacuum, but just compared to Courage, why would I ever take Benevolence? It's very rare that I would take that. And certainly in this case, there's no world where we're taking that. Courage is like, it says so many things going for it. It's like, even if it just the advance and heal is already good enough, but the fact that you gain armor equal to that heal is so good. I mean, think about Shade Guard, who actually has a pretty high health pool when all is said and done. I can save, you know, I can use this thing liberally to get him to the front and fully heal him, give him some armor, and then I can wait as long as possible toward Relentless, get him as damaged as possible. In some cases, I can even purposely damage him to get the maximum amount of armor for the boss. So that is really good. And then, I mean, we just added a gigantic amount of power to this deck with that upgrade, but I do think we should at least dupe the Pyreball once, I'm thinking. I'm less inclined to do the Magma Cultist dupe at the moment because we have so much Ember in deployment phase to deal with right now. Yeah, so I just don't think it's easy for me to make use of a second Magma Incanter. Even in some degree, I'd benefit from having more of these. Plus, this card is going to be really useful into this upcoming fight. I could technically dupe it one more time. Honestly, it's not a horrible idea. I don't want to get overconfident, because here's the thing. I did say it's easier to make the Gravity Shade Guard thing work, but if Gravity doesn't want to play nice, then we still have some issues. Shade Guard still is self-sustaining, at least, but, you know, we may be looking at a Magma Cultist dying to what's his name, and we'll still have our Ekka, hopefully, in that case, but even the Ekka could die in really bad scenarios. And then we're just left with a Shade Guard, so having an extra Pyreball helps quite a lot with that. I think we just dupe it one more time. We don't need to save gold. I mean, we're going to this Merchant Steel anyway, which really only benefits right now from Titanite. We're mainly going for the heal and the Empyrean Well, and if I'm not going to have much money, we definitely don't even consider going to the right, I think. So, I think this is fine. Make use of our Pyre here, why not? So we'll go Shade Guard top, tank that hit, and then hopefully we can get Gravity sooner than later, but we're willing to potentially lose our Magma Cultist, I suppose. But I definitely want to put the Magma Cultist in, I think, versus like a Sealy, I think. Not the turn I wanted gravity. So like I said, I mean, I guess I could do that, but that's not good. I mean, interesting turn to say the least. I mean, here's what I could do. It sucks to not play these to some degree, but it would be nice to spam this guy. I could daze him, but I don't even want to daze him necessarily. Like, I do kind of just want to take this damage. Because if I'm going to do the play I'm thinking, which is I'm just going to gravity this guy and not play anything else, then next turn I can guarantee that I get Shade Guard down to my 4, bring him to the front, he'll get a bunch of armor. Of course, I don't have Conduit that turn, so this is where, you know, more mass. This fight is not bad only because of the ridiculousness of more mass. It's ridiculous. I mean, just look at this floor. This is a ridiculous first floor in the context of how early this in the game it is. Don't you think? Like, it's like you have Scourge Shufflers, so you gotta ping that guy. You have the tank in front and this tank, but the ordering of the tanks is kind of brutal here because it's like you have to get through this tank to get through to the guy that can just damage your pyre for like 17 damage a hit. It's fucked. Or I guess 16, I don't know. Whatever the math is, but yeah, it's just brutal. It's brutal. So it's like I could go in on Fleshweaver here a little bit if I stun him and then just kill the units, but I think we actually just do this. It's the less enticing play, but it is the one to make, I think. Because now I can actually just guarantee that this floor is protected. Yeah, let's get you down. I'll bring you to the front, get that armor. Now we're at least doing some damage here. I may just have to let this guy do his thing unless I really want to Pyreball him. Which maybe a Pyreball there is actually better. It's not like a Pyreball is doing huge benefits for me here. I suppose we're not getting Sealy on this floor, but that just is what it is. I think we just take the 7 here. I kind of just want to... I want to hit the Fleshweaver while I can, and then the Pyreball here is like... doing okay. Plus, I'm getting more incants this way. It's too bad these Sphere Stewards don't have a little bit more health, then I could actually, you know, do something there. Well, we're looking at a lot of pyro damage, unfortunately, but this is why I duped aggressively here, is I didn't want to underestimate this fight, and we already see it's still, like, with a pretty good start, still pretty fucked up. Okay, we're going to go Sealy up top. Man. Okay, they're actually all dying. I don't know how that works. I guess the math there worked out pretty well. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better here. So, just do that. They all die. Get this out while we can. It's easier to get this out while the Chimage Sphere I can get out at a later time. I don't even think we will, though, because we're not going to reach in front of the deck. Do that for sure. Would be nice to hit him, but he'll be at the floor in the next turn. I'd rather, I think, take these guys out so I can go in next turn and blast him. Yeah, I think that's probably what we do. I don't want to heal myself. The problem is if I do this, then the Sealy dies. Might as well just not, I suppose. I guess we'll put damage there, because we want to blast him the next turn. Alright, Pyreball. Ascend. Okay, Conduit here helping. So this just goes here. And then we'll go 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door. Alright, we got him down to 15. I'm good with that. I think we're alright. And then I'm going to have a bunch of armor. I think we solved this bastard. Got him. Not even close. Plus we got 16 armor, which is nice. Definitely calculated. You know how you know how I calculate things. It's always 69. What can I say? I'm a regular Kevin Malone. Hey, I think that's the Clevin. That's what the number is. It just dawned on me. Well, it's definitely not Duskmantle. That is not... Well, one of these cards is not like the others here. The other two are amazing cards, Tidal Turning and Pyroclasm. Though I will say they're very awkward at the moment because of the Ember cost. And, I don't know. I'm kind of torn right now if I'm going to take a draw or an Ember upgrade because so much of this deck is 0 cost. It feels very weird to take an Ember upgrade, but on the flip side, I have a lot of deployment Ember. I don't know that I'm going to ever dupe the Cultist, though, for what it's worth. So I could argue that if we don't care about the Sealy, if we're fine with a floor of Ekka plus Cultist and Shade Guard, if that's the floor, then we don't have to take an Ember upgrade. I will say if I don't take an Ember upgrade, though, there's no way I think we can take the Pyroclasm, because we, yeah, I mean, there's not even a Merchant of Magic until here. It is opposite a dupe, but this is still probably the better node. Merchant Arms is whatever. Vortex and Health, Magic, those are good things. And, you know, with my philosophy with Life Mother's Pyre is Empyrean Wells are still as valuable as they normally are. But conversely, I think Unstable Vortexes go up in value quite a lot with Life Mother's Pyre. Because kind of like I mentioned, it's like I don't really want to spend money on removals when I'm Life Mothers. I think I just gain more value from a dupe. Maybe I can spend one on the cheap 40 buck, but beyond that, I don't know that I want to spend much money on removing. We are Pyreborn, which usually has a lot of gold, but we're just not having much gold also. Like, we are getting to the uncommon tier where we could get some greedy stuff, though, but I don't even know if we're feeling confident enough to take those type of cards. I think we're better off just taking actual impact cards, and yeah, I mean, I guess even so it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like I probably will hit this Magic, but it's still like a long ways away, and even with or without an Ember upgrade, the Pyroclasm's very hard to play, so I don't think we take it. We already have Pyreball, which obviously isn't as good, but it's way easier for me to play, and it does the same job, it just doesn't do it as intensely. Tidal Turning, on the other hand, I can play. It comes with a Calcifying Ember, which sucks, but I just don't know. The Tidal Turning is like, it would at least, I guess, open up another future consumer move at that Merchant of Magic, and it may not be that needed because I've got the Shade Guard that basically has Tidal Turning at home. It also has to be drawn on the full moon turn. Granted, I don't know, we do have a 50-50 here to find Incant Ekka, So there is that possibility. I mean, if I take the title turning, though, would I still want to take an Ember upgrade? Because it is awkward to play. Tough to say. There are certainly some situations where I would like to get the Sealy out. You know, like I said, we have a 50-50 to get Incant Eka. And even if I don't... Well, if I don't, I really don't have a reason to take Ember upgrade, I feel. And yeah, we're probably hitting this deal since we kind of determined Vortex are pretty good. Also with the double Vortex, I'm probably just removing the Stewards, so like having extra deployment Ember is getting wasted to some degree. So if I take a draw upgrade, I guess is title turning worth taking. Because obviously it takes... I can't take an Ember Trial and play it. And even without an Ember Trial, I can't play Starstruck, I can't play Gravity, can't play my Lava Armors, can't get a Calcified Ember out. There's a lot I still can't do, even though there's so many zero-cost cards. I think we take it, though, and we take a draw upgrade. These Calcified Embers are getting pretty brutal, though. Yeah, this is a brick. Greed Dragon normally good, but like I said, we're on the rare Pyreborn run where we just don't have any eggs. And Astrologer is, for the millionth time we've seen it on this run, just not going to be good. Not worth speculating on. Nightingale also just not really worth speculating on. I mean, if I already am okay getting an Eclipse Room already benefits Shade Guard, but Nightingale needs an Eclipse Room to basically do anything. And yeah, man, I really wish we would have seen like a Lunar Priestess here. And honestly, if it would have made this title turning a little easier to include in the deck, because then I would take an Ember upgrade if I got an actual good unit here. But since we didn't get a good unit, we'll just take a draw. Got to make use of our plethora of zero costs here. Now, we don't have much money. I mean, granted, there is $100 here, but this clan combo does not have a good array of trinkets, and the alcove could be good, could be bad. Whereas if I go left, the health is always going to be good. We still might leak. You know, if I don't get offered Incant Eka here, I'm still prone to leaking quite a lot, actually. I would say. The steel is not super high value, but it's okay. I will say this, I can add some health to Sealy, if anything, and then I can gravity it onto the floor. So that's okay. And then obviously we just want a Titanite on the Shade Guard. I mean, I guess a Smidge Stone would work as well. Smidge Stone makes it so I don't have to rely on gravity, and honestly, that's fine. Then I can actually just play the Sealy on the floor. So yeah, just go left here. Right, these are... At least we have the Heartstone here, so we don't have to re-roll for that. I will say... So re-rolling here, there's 2 of 5 upgrades that are good. So... If we're getting 2 of 5 that are good... The problem is I can't take the Heartstone and reroll. So... Let's see if we're getting Incant Eka. We are. Okay. Very happy to see that. That makes my decision a little easier. Plus we're going to hit the steel anyway, right? So... I mean, I could hit this side, but I'm pretty sure we're hitting the steel. So it's like, at that steel, I'll just look for Smidge Stone and Titanite. Here, I'm just going to lock in this, because now Sealy's actually a very good unit. I could honestly even argue that I don't play the Magma Cultist at the start, and I play Sealy. That's how good Sealy is here. Because like I said, now that we have Incant Eka, which is already strong with just 1 rank of, but... double as strong with the Sealy on the floor. And that's, I have to imagine gaining an extra conduit every single incant is actually better than 2 Pyrogel per turn. Plus, I just can play a Steward out along with that, so... Yeah, I mean, I could also Large Stone this if I really want to give it a bunch of health. Honestly, I could Large Stone the Shade Guard as well. It's actually not a horrible upgrade given what I got. It does commit me to having to find... Well, we know we want to do this. Let's think about the Large Stone, though. So, I mean, I could also say that if I take Large Stone now, I could maybe just go to the right here. Pyreborn Banner is most likely not useful to me, though. Free Artifact is always going to be good, even in a bad combo of artifacts. And maybe the Merchant Shrink's alright, but probably not. Probably not. I don't know. I mean, the benefit of Large Stone with the Shade Guard is that the Scourge ability just gets even more armor, but the downside here is, you know, I have to find Gravity on the right turns, and or do something weird like I did the other fight where I only put Gravity on a bad turn and then bring it in for the good turn. All that being said, I mean, I have Tidal Turning to buff up my main floor if I don't have Shade Guard on it. But I don't know, I think we're benefiting a lot more from going left here. The Vortex is so valuable, and Titanite would be a better upgrade, Smidgestone would be a better upgrade. Large Stone is acceptable, though, so we're pretty much guaranteed to have a good steal coming up. I think we just hold out. And honestly, I'd be open to duping one more card here. I really don't, especially since I took the draw upgrade, I really don't see how duping another Pyreball would be bad. I think, especially now that we got all that conduit. Yeah, I'm doing that, hands down. Oh, I have the free dupe. Honestly, I'm going to dupe it again. Like, I mean, honestly, I could dupe another Sealy. That is so much conduit. And honestly, that actually is happening, yeah. That is so happening. Okay, let's do it. I didn't even think of that angle. Alright, Mark of Invasion. Kill the Corruptor. Ay, ay, ay. And Penance Seekers. This Mark of Invasion does fuck me pretty hard here. I mean, it doesn't as long as I draw one of my 4 Pyreballs at the start, but I don't know. I mean, I could also argue that I am getting what do you call it? The Pyre Health back here, since we're pretty sure we're going there. And I don't have to set up mid anymore, because we got the incant version of Echo. And in fact, in this fight, I think we definitely want to just set up bottom. But the Corruption could be a little annoying. The Pyre damage could be a little bit annoying. I think this is fine, though. We should be able to take this. We'll set up bottom. We'll put Shade Guard in mid. We'll just really hope to find Pyreball in the opener. But if we don't, so be it. We're definitely going to go with a double Sealy. I'm going to go 1 Sealy in front, though. Just in case, for whatever reason, shit goes wrong. And we'll try to get this guy down eventually. Alright, we got Pyreball now. So that goes there. Yeah, on this turn, there's no way I'm going to just only do Gravity, so Gravity's just going to have to be a fail. Here, let's do this. That's fine. This is why I put the Sealy in front, by the way. Alright, go could kill that, but I want to greed this here. Because I can bring this guy down, bring him forward. That does leave this thing a little vulnerable, but... Or not vulnerable, but he's not taking much damage, but... I don't know. I can just take the 9 here. This guy's going to hit me for more than 9, and I don't have a good way to deal with him if I don't kill him right now. So let's just do this. I will bring you down, bring you to the front, give you lava armor. I think I can kill him at that amount of health, because now I can. I don't want to take the 1 here since I'm already taking this. I guess I could take this. That's a good compromise. Certainly 3 damage is worse than 1 damage, and now this guy can help clean up this tank potentially, or you know, kill a collector, that works too. Okay. Get 5 Pyregel, 18, do 8 plus 5. I think we'll just kill this. We got a lot of damage here, so we can just take these out. This pretty much solidifies that we're killing the boss if I play it right now, so I'm okay just taking a damage for that. Alright. We can just kill one of them, and I'm pretty sure it's a perfect opportunity to get rid of one of these. We'll incant as much as we can here. Alright, got him. I'm not gonna mess with this any. Kel is one of those weird bosses where the math is very hard to predict. Alright, we get through that. That actually went better than I thought it would. Only 8 damage taken is acceptable. It could have gone better, technically, but it could have gone worse. Moonlit Glaive's really good here. So is Planetarium. Or should I say, Planetarium. But for Relentless, which is, I suppose, still a concern to some degree, Moonlit Glaive is solving that the best. Planetarium also is really good with the double Sealy on the floor, but it's kind of win more, I would say. We're already having plenty of conduit. Yeah, this is pretty easy Moonlit Glaive, I would say. Is there any reason to take a Lunacy? Probably not. If we're not taking Planetarium, we don't take Lunacy. So this is either a skip or a stuck-up whelp. It's a skip. And we'll go left here. We got a lot of money, but we'll go left. Titanite. Boom. We do that before we hit the cavern because we might get a unit upgrade. Titanite is really good. I mean, it does make courage give me less armor in some cases, but that's not a problem. Could I guess just graft the Moonlit Glaive onto, because we want the lava armor, I think, on Shade Guard, so we could just put it onto Sealy. Yeah, let's just give a Sealy this Moonlit Glaive. I mean, the other option is Lava Armor on what's his name, but this is just more Ember efficient and giving me more front-loaded damage, which is maybe something we need. Really good event, honestly. Anything else we can do? Not really, because those stewards are they're definitely the first thing out of this deck. Let's get rid of... Let's go 1 and 1. Hard for me to predict which one's more useful to me most of the time. But we got a lot of money, we should use it. Card dupe is getting pretty expensive. Maybe we wait on it now. I'm feeling pretty good about the deck. We could purge. These Spear Stewards might be worse than the other one. I guess we just hold the gold for now. We're not feeling that desperate anymore. We're feeling like pretty powerful. Titan Skin 4, easy mode. This group, easy mode. Could set up mid. I don't see any reason to set up bottom. So we'll set up mid. Still go with the double Sealy. Oh, we want that one in the back. Put you up there. Just get ourselves an incant while we can, and then throw this out. Alright, bring you down, bring you forward. So I think we can... This guy's already dying. I don't really need to kill him necessarily. But the incants might still just be a good thing to do. Yeah, we do want to incant while we can. I'll save the ability. Ascend. Up there. They're all dying. I think I still want to get my incants in here. I'm going to save title turning, I guess, till later. It doesn't matter. So, ooh, look at that. 69 damage. I am just hitting my numbers today. The golden ratio. There or there? It's not an AoE boss or anything, so let's just do it there. Definitely want to get this out of here. Boom, headshot. Just soften you up. Leave your health going down so I can at least get some courage value. Granted, the title turning's most likely gonna eclipse that, but I can play it before a title turning, I guess. I don't need to worry about much here. I mean, we're just gonna kill it. We're just gonna kill this guy, no problem. Just get him a few things of Titan Skin. We never did actually draw back into the title turning, but that's okay. We don't want to ascend him, so call it good there. This one's either Ritual Tome or Skip. I really don't see any reason to take Ritual Stone here. It's not much to think about there. Skip. If we really want, we could Mind Cage Ekka. And then I can get Lunar Echo. Lunar Echo every single turn. I mean, that's not too bad. Brain Spike does at least give me some gold. I'm actually pretty good on gold. Dragon Breath is too expensive. Granted, I do have the Merchant of Magic coming up, but it's just not better than Pyreball. And I want to get the tidal turning cost reduced probably, or the Bloody Moon. This is a very easy Mind Cage, I think. That's big advantage to Lunar Echo. I do think we go to the right here. The Vortex is more valuable than a dupe at this point, even though my dupes are expensive. Yeah, that's just more valuable. And the health is alright. Look, we already got this. So yeah, that's pretty automatic. Look at the removals. Things are looking great. This run's getting a lot better. So this is probably a case of just get through more mass and the run formalizes. We got so much money, we're inclined to use these. I don't mind a 1-cost spell chain Bloody Moon. It's not that good though because I got so much AoE. Bloody Moon actually doesn't hit so much here. I definitely want this though. It's good for my incantations. I think it's just a fire starter maybe. It's weird, but it kind of makes sense. And then we want a -2 the tidal turning, so let's just make the Bloody Moon 1. I can gain Ember sometimes with it then. I don't think I want to Surge Stone this, even though it makes sense from a... I don't really want to see it back in the deck past the first time I play it, but I don't think we Surge Stone anything here. Alright, we do have an Intrinsic, which we could put on Gravity and just put Shade Guard at the bottom. That's not a horrible play. It does mean that Seraph and Strixen Hollow will, you know, be there, but I don't hate it. I think this is fine. We're guaranteed to get Shade Guard up at the start. And then we definitely put this on this. Tidal Turning is like a potential dupe now as well. Holy Stone's not too needed. I think just a +10 here since it's already spell chained. Just get that extra damage. We'll get rid of the remaining Shield Steward. And I don't know, maybe Starstruck is not that good anymore. I really don't know why I have a Starstruck at this point. It's just like worse than all the other cards in the deck. The other option is Calcified Ember or maybe the Magma Cultist. The Magma Cultist is really not that needed. But the Starstruck keeps coming back into the deck. Am I being too cocky here on like my fire health? Because it would be useful into Dominion sometimes, but I don't know. If I'm not hitting any more Merchant of Magics, it's looking like we're really not going to have control over our moon phase. I mean, I guess I can hit this magic. Yeah, this magic's hittable. It's just not that enticing. Like, I highly doubt we leak anymore, and so that Pyre Remains is nothing. The Armory is usually nothing, but it could be something. A room would be good. The Merchant Arms here is fine because I'll just, I don't know, I can deploy the... I don't even think I would deploy the other thing, though. I'd rather get my Sealies out. I mean, even hitting this Merchant Arm, this is just not a useful node either way. Ring 7's not a good node either way, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if I hit a Merchant of Magic, Starstruck might be worth keeping because I could Permafrost it. I don't even know if I'd want to do that. Like, I'd rather Permafrost a Gravity, maybe. So yeah, let's get rid of Starstruck. It's more like Stars Suck, you know what I mean? Stars Suck, see what I did there? Let's go ahead and fight. We don't care about the enemy incant here. Let's just set up mid because we got we'll bring Shade Guard up. Put these down first so that I get the extra conduit. Why did it not give her extra conduit there? It should have given her an extra conduit. It's kind of weird. What if they changed that? I swear it used to give your unit extra conduit if you put it down. Whatever. Alright. You come up. You come forward. I got this right now. Could also just get rid of this, because do I even really need to play this? And like I said, we don't really care about incanting here. It's just 50 health. I'd rather get my conduit, which I'm getting 3 per incant. Get some pyre gel on this bastard. Do I want to take 1 damage, or do I want to get rid of this? This is probably a get rid of this turn. So, do I want to get lava armor, or do I want to get a magma cultist onto the floor? I think I want to get a magma cultist onto the floor. It's technically doing more for me. We could do this now, but I probably want it for next turn. Yeah, we can wait on it. I don't know. What am I getting back? It might just be gravity. Yeah, it's no real reason to take this. No real reason to use the ability right now. This guy can sap the shit out of us, so we gotta be careful there. Looks like we're good there. Might as well use this now since we got the resolve there. Put this here. Keep incanting this bastard. Alright, 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright. Yeah, nothing more to do. Could Pyreball here. I don't really know if that's more useful than just doing that. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. So they're all dying already, but I probably just benefit from getting more conduit here. So we'll do that. Do I benefit from getting hit here? Probably. Get our giant courage eventually. I'd actually rather hurt this unit more than this unit at the moment. We're looking pretty good here. I can even bring you down, which I should do. Let's give these guys the business, why don't we? How do you like it? Something tells me we're winning this fight. And Relentless starts early, because that's how this boss works. I was hoping to get Gravity there to get the extra flying kill, but that's okay. Yeah, we got the tidal turning here. All is good. We got so much armor. I think this deck is pretty much good to go. Let's finish him off with a Pyreball, because this is Pyreball's night out here. Pyreball's wonderful adventure. Card I don't usually like that much, but it is doing quite well now. Devilish Details. I think only one normally bad card in my eyes will be allowed on this run, and that's Pyreball. Devilish Details, I don't think you're going to make the list here. You still suck. Yes, this is skip and a half. If I take Ember, I can get my Magma Cultist out. That's the main advantage there. He's just not important to the run, and he's probably going to get removed. I could just do draw again. Why not? This is a double draw type deck. Now we can go either way here. I got 1 Pyre health to heal. I will say that Mind Cage is pretty good to get out, but because I didn't take the Ember upgrade, I am sacrificing playing a Sealy if I want to deploy it. And either way, I can just go do that to the next Merchant of Arms. We just go left. There's no reason to go to the right. The right can be a complete brick. This is at least never a complete brick. Don't see Holdover being that good on any of these. Intrinsic's not really all that good. Not really needed here either. I mean, I don't really see what good any of these do. So like I said, Armory, usually a brick, especially later on. We can make this 0 cost. That's fine. Gaining Ember. We can add some damage to a Witch, maybe a Witch Weave. I don't know, Firestarter's probably better. Do I even want to reroll here? What am I even rerolling for? Nothing really. Yeah, we don't need to reroll. I'm gonna save the money for now. I'm not desperate for a dupe. So this actually, you know, this was actually more of a brick than the other side. I don't even know why I went this way. I didn't think about that one too hard. This is where it gets risky in these type of runs. It's like you get a little overconfident and you start making stupid plays. And that was a stupid play. I could have easily just looked at this deck and been like, wait, I don't really benefit at all from any Merchant of Magic upgrades. And the I don't need health, and you know, the Armory, as we said, is usually bad. I'll be honest, an additional incant may not be beating Silver Empress here. You know, I just get an extra 20 conduit. I'd have to incant 20 times for this to match that. You know, the 2 conduit, it's already completely outclassed by having double Sealy. It's not like the extra 1 conduit means much here. But, is it still better? It might be. You know, even if it is 20 incants, that's not hard for me to achieve. I've got double draw upgrade. I have spell return every turn once I hit the Mind Flare, or Mind, whatever it is, Mind Horde. And I have a spell chained card. Yeah, let's just go for the upside. That is the only trial that we would fucking not want to do here. Especially because, like, this troop is a little annoying for us to go bottom floor against. But it is this boss, so we probably still want to go bottom floor. But obviously, these guys having double spell shield is, like, hard fucking countering us. I gotta set up mid anyway. But yeah, I'm just not gonna take... There's no reason to take that risk. Absolutely no reason. Right, you have that. You have that. Bring you up. Bring you forward. Fuck you up. We got this, which is great. And we will just... Phew, not do that. That would have been disastrous. I don't want to take any damage here. I don't care about getting that unit out. Might as well get this back. Not a great turn. Certainly not my best turn. That's okay. These guys aren't necessarily that hard. Give you that. Just get my incants up. Alright. Tidal turning, huh? We don't benefit too much by killing the mid guys, so let's just keep blasting that. Okay, we're killing that. Probably should have. We could, yeah, we could do that, and then. Let's ascend. Unfortunately, this guy gets drawn alongside 2 Vengeful Shards every time, and I'm not going to take a damage to get that guy out, so. Oops, forgot to use my ability. Killing most of them. Killing all of them. I think we'll be killing Rax. I got a pretty good feeling on that. I mean, do we even need to wait on this guy? I don't think so. Oh, that didn't actually work out the way I thought it would. Have some of that. This is definitely a Skyrim difficulty run. I mean, I could take this. It's, maybe the Cosmic Bolt's better. Because I don't know, I only really need the 1 Moonlit Glaive for the most part, and Cosmic Bolt, I have the Ember for it, and it's my only actual attuned card. This is definitely, I think, Cosmic Bolt's time to shine. Not taking that crap. Alright, obviously we take this node. Could take the Silence Room, I guess. Is it positive for me at this point to buy the guild marker and then go through the rest of the turn? Maybe. It reduces everything. But, I don't know. I feel like I just want to dupe the shit out of my Pyre cards. So, you know, Cultist, it's been fun, but you're out. You just aren't on the team anymore. And that's okay. I don't think we need the other gravity either. This gravity is already accomplishing what we need it to. So we have no more removals needed. I could dupe the bolt, but it's costing 2, so I don't love that. I could dupe the tidal turning once, I suppose. Yeah, I'm feeling the Pyreball here. I think we use all our money on dupes, which is not much, to be fair. I mean, I guess the guild marker's positive here, right? It's like 25% on each of these. I don't know. Someone can do the math. I'm too lazy to. Let's get one. I don't even need the other tile turning, honestly. Let's just get the Pyreballs. It's Pyreball's day out. When am I going to get the chance to get that many Pyreballs? I guess I can remove a card too. Well, you've performed very well this run, but I suppose one of you can go. Okay. Oh. Oh. Blast you before I bring you up. Ascend. Move you forward. Cosmic Bolt. Unfortunately, you're not getting played at the moment. Have a little bit of that. Oh, look at that hand. That is a hand and a half. I suppose we can deal with this incant. I didn't really need to do that, but it's okay. These guys aren't nearly as bad as the other ones. I don't have Mindhunter yet, so I'm holding my Lunar Echo. Mindhunter. Why am I calling it Mindhunter? Mind Cage. Mind Cage, that's what it is. Right here we can use it. Of course we get to Pyreball back. Oh, I don't have a Pyreball here. Either way, we probably just kill one of them. Put that there. That. There's that Mind Cage that I keep hearing so many things about. We have a little bit of problems here. So I can do about 300 damage here, but that's not doing me much good. Here, let's go. So it dies from that final hit. Just take one of these guys out. I definitely don't want to take 17 though, so hopefully I can deal with that somehow. Can deal with that. Here, let's go like that. This is fine. We'll do that. I can do this. Man, the sap is pretty brutal here, but I will admit this fight is not going as smoothly as I imagined it. I am glad I duped the fuck out of that card because I am needing it quite often. Right, we'll take that guy out like that. Take that out like that. Here, okay, Cosmic Bolt coming in handy now. Now this turn is looking decent. Well, I forgot to use my ability. What am I doing? Use that ability, baby. Boom. 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 Boom, boom. Blast that fool. Use my ability before I forget. I don't really need this Ember, so I guess we could open with that. We can do that. They're dead. Guess I don't need to play that. Should be dead without me needing to do anything here, I think. Yeah. But of course I'm going to play out my stuff. I mean, why do you think I came all this way? $12.05. Not too shabby. Alright, time for the victory lap. We got full pyre health going into this. I think we'll be fine. I will say it's probably going to take a while to finish this fight, but again, full pyre health. Plus, every now and then I can use gravity to maybe not take some damage. Oh! Oh! Bring you forward. We'll just do this. Perfect amount of ember here. We could even lose Shade Guard this fight and it wouldn't be the worst thing. Sometimes getting back that card would be good. Let's blast this guy while we can. Could put one here. It's probably fine. Don't want to play too many cards off the floor though. Save. I think next turn we can take that guy out most of the time. Kind of put that damage in there, but we did bottom deck the Mine Cage. I probably want to leave my thing for next turn, so let's do it like this, I think. Do I want to play that? I'm pretty sure. You know, I don't think I have. I think I actually benefit more from this here. That's a lot of entropy. Alright, easy peasy there. Easy peasy there. Get some damage in on entropy while we can. Alright, this is okay. And Bloody Moon not actually performing very well in this fight, but that just is what it is. I think we do want to use that. Let's blast you. I'll just go like this. Give him the business. Pyreball, you are absolutely the MVP of this run. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yes, Pyreball. The gift that just keeps on giving. Alright, we're at 600 there. Let's give you some Pyrogel. Who knows, it might be useful. It's probably not that impactful, but... Alright, so they're taken out. I guess at this point, just break the spell shield because we're just got to beat the guy up top. Might be able to get Pyrolite back this turn and get the finish. Much like Babe Ruth, you got to call your shot and hit it, and that's what we did there. 49 damage taken, actually quite a lot of damage taken, but that's okay. That's why we have all that pyre health to buffer for that type of thing. We still had 60 to spare, no big deal. So definitely early on, tough, but once you get past Ring 3, it opens up, which is Eka in a nutshell, right? Isn't that true of just every Even on the non-cursed Echa seeds, that's kind of the case, right? I would definitely say this was cursed, though, with that start. Like, it's very scary to go into the more mass with potentially not much beef. Granted, we did find the Shade Guard, but it's possible. We'll have to see what the submitter did. I'm curious if maybe they went to the arms, which I think would be a mistake, but we'll just have to see. Magma Cultus, Benevolence. Yeah, I'm going to guess. So let's see if there's any extra equipment or something. There's an Astrologer. There's a Shade Guard. Well, I could definitely say... So they took the right route, I think, but they did the wrong upgrade, you know? Like... the Benevolence here is so much worse than Courage on Shade Guard would be, because you know you do have that early the gravities that are already in the deck, so you know you can move them around. I'm also not sure on the Shield Steward health add. I would have put it on the Cultist, because Steward, outside of gravity, right? Steward doesn't go on the floor with Echa and Magma Cultist. Doesn't fit. So I'd rather just add the health to Magma Cultist, because if you're the dualism's already the only upgrade that it benefits from, so might as well just add the health there. It's not a big deal though. The biggest deal here, I would say, right off the bat, is the Shade Guard not getting the Cultist. I will say though, interestingly, I was wrong on the Dragon scale. It looks like they were able to proc it twice here based on the fact that they have a Manifold Mirror. So that's certainly good, but they did have to skip this trial for what it's worth, which is $75. I mean, they made a lot of good plays here, like this Pyreball, same Pyreball we had. They duped it early with that money, so I like that. Like there's a lot that's fine here, but yeah, I think the biggest thing actually is just the Shade Guard. I could also say little things here and there. I do think the health would have been better served on Cultist. I don't think Lava Flow is worth adding to the deck. And I don't think I like the Silver Strike over the Bloody Moon. That also means that this Bloody Moon was taken for a Calcified Ember, I think, then, if I remember correctly. Which also means that the Days card wasn't taken, which is not a big deal, but I do think in the context of when those cards are offered, the Days card is probably better, especially since it didn't have the Calcified Ember, but it's not a big deal. I think the biggest thing here is just that Shade Guard, because it's like it solves so many problems. Like, it gets onto your floor and it can just go to the front. And even if you gravity never cooperated, and you could never do like an Echa turn to force it like we did, which is unlikely, right? But if that unlikely event happens, still it's better to have Shade Guard with Courage, because Shade Guard is either on its own floor, or it's with Echa, or it's with Cultist, whatever the setup is. And then it's just getting way more stats, which is able to deal with the Flesh Weaver so much better. It looks like they probably go to Relentless then based on the 46 damage taken, but it just, just can't get through it, because even if gravity is getting them onto the same floor, even if it's healing the damage that the Shade Guard had, Shade Guard's in the back, which is a problem, and it doesn't have the armor, which is a problem. So that's the main thing I would say there. But that's about all I can think of. Definitely, that was a fun run either way. That was nice to have Pyreball pop off like that. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.